Hey gang, Jeff Stone here with day 76 of the year 2015 at magicreviewed.com. And today is day 3 of Karl Hein week. I've already reviewed the ketchup, Heinz ketchup, which was the copper, silver, brass routine. And then I reviewed the Heinous collection, volume 1. Both of them got 3, both of them. The two each got 3.5 stars, stone status of gem. And so I was, kind of, expectations weren't high when I got to volume 2. But I can tell you that volume 2 is non-heinous. If you get that reference, post it in the comments below. I'm curious. Anywho, this is an excellent one. I gave it 5 stars, stone status of gem. The other ones weren't horrible either. They were good. They're good products. There are just enough things that I felt were issues that I couldn't give them 5 stars. But this one, easily. So you get 6 effects for 35 bucks. So sorry about that. 6 effects for 35 bucks, plus you get a little bonus cutie thing I'll tell you about in a minute. These effects do rely heavily on false shuffles and false cuts. And of course, the ones he uses in particular are the same ones that happen to be on volume 1, which is the false cuts and false shuffles video. I don't know if I showed you this yet. Sorry. Volume 2. But let me go through each one real quick, and I'll tell you whether or not you actually need to use Karl Hein's complex, really hard ones, or you can use your own. The very first one, which, just a personal side note, is my favorite effect on the DVD, is called Square Deal. And the idea of this is that from a shuffled deck, you are able to control the cards so that you deal out 4 cards in a row that add up to some particular number, let's say 21 or whatever. And then you're able to shuffle again and do it again and do it again and do it again. And you ultimately end with a matrix of cards that happens to be a magic square too. Now, the procedure is not, you're not openly saying, look, I'm going to do a magic square. It's not that kind of thing. The way that the routine, that's the word I was looking for, the way the routine works is it builds slowly but surely, and suddenly all the stuff starts dawning on the spectators, and it's really, really cleverly constructed. I'm actually going to work on that one. I really liked it. But whether I like it or not is irrelevant. You may not like that kind of magic. That's fine. But I'll tell you this. You can use any kind of false shuffles or false cuts that you want. You don't have to use Karl Hein's for that particular one. Jack Spade is a storytelling deck, like Sam the Bellhop kind of a thing. And this is Karl Hein's own version, his own story. And again, you can use any kind of false cuts, false shuffles that you want. The prophecy location, again, any kind of false cuts, any kind of false shuffles that you want. You don't have to use Karl Hein's. And the prophecy location is a very clever application of the Bill Simon prophecy move, the business card turnover move. My hands were out of frame. I was doing this. Like, that helps clarify everything, right? Anyway, so the prophecy location, it's a unique way to apply the that prophecy move that's very smart. And it also disguises the move a little bit better too. Equilateral production. This one you have to use the equilateral, I think it's called the equilateral cut. That's Karl Hein's. Because the idea of it is from that particular cut, it's a production. And if you're not doing the equilateral cut, then you're not doing the equilateral production. So that one, if you're going to do that one, and you'll see it in the preview, you'll see where he's holding up this weird shape of a upside down triangle in his hands, and then a card just appears right there inside the triangle, and then he sucks it off with his face and moves the cards down. You'll see that in the trailer. That's a very visual effect, and the card just seems to come out of nowhere. But man, are you going to have to put in some work to learn that equilateral cut, which is on the first DVD. Now, he does very, very briefly cover it on here. So this DVD is complete without having to buy the other one. But if you're going to learn the equilateral production, I would recommend that you just get the other DVD as well. In fact, that whole production is on the other DVD. So if you just wanted that one trick, you'd be better off getting the other DVD instead of this one. Okay, Transformer Triumph. This one's a gray area. It's a Triumph routine that has a nice 3-step reveal to it. And it's clever and it's well constructed and everything. But the way that you get the 3 steps of the reveal is dependent upon you doing his Transformer cut, which is it's one of the, I was going to say easier ones, but we're going to go with less hard ones. It's a variation, a big variation of the Gianni Mattiolo illogical shuffle. And so it's either called the illogical shuffle or the illogical cut. I can't remember which. But anyway, it's a modification of that. And so that the Gianni Mattiolo thing's not too bad to do. I can do it, and I'm not the greatest, manipulator. But the added crap stuff, it's good stuff. The added stuff that Karl Hein adds to it is pretty complex and intricate. And so it allows you to have this sort of step-by-step reveal in this particular Triumph. And the things that you get, so the first step is you just reveal the selected card sort of in the middle of the deck, but you haven't spread to reveal that all the cards have turned back to normal. And then the next reveal is that are all back to normal and they're spread, face down. And this is all in the hands, by the way. And then the final reveal, you turn the deck over and show that not only is the deck back in new deck order, but their selection is right in the spot it's supposed to be in. Now, that all can be accomplished with whatever kind of shuffles, false shuffles, or false cuts that you want. But the Transformer cut or shuffle, whatever it's called, is very much, it's kind of built for that particular Triumph. It just works well with that. You can do other ones for that particular routine. That's why I say it's a gray area, because he doesn't really show you any alternatives for that. And I mean, sure, a normal Triumph, you can do whatever kind of shuffles you want. But in this case, where you're getting the cards to end up in a certain configuration with the reveal and stuff, it's not quite as cut and dried. For example, the Jack Spades story, that's just a deck that's stacked in the order, right? And then you just do false shuffles and false cuts. It doesn't matter what kind you do, because all you're doing is just retaining the order. You're not doing anything else fancier than that. Whereas with this Transformer Triumph, you're retaining the order, of course, but you're also having a card pop out a certain way and revealing itself, and kind of controlling the card to a certain position, and all that. The way it's hard to explain, but the way it all comes together, the Transformer Triumph, the Transformer cut, just fits. It's the round peg for the round hole. Now, you probably, with some thinking, could figure out a way to do it with whatever false cuts and shuffles you'd like. Once you learn how he does it with the Transformer Triumph or Transformer Shuffle. So the reason I say that's a gray area, again, is because he doesn't really give you any tips on how to adapt it to other shuffles. So that's all. Not that that's a bad thing. It's just that he does mention you could use other shuffles. I think he mentions that. But I'm rambling way too much about this particular effect. Bottom line, it could probably be done with any other kind of false cuts and shuffles. You're just going to have to think it through to figure that out. Last effect is every card, every number, every time, which again is very much dependent upon one of his false cuts and false shuffles. But this one could also be adapted to any false cut and any false shuffle for every card, every number, every time. And it's essentially the any card, any number plot, but it's a little bit different. And if I were to do an any card and any number plot, which I will never, ever do, just why? Why are magicians obsessed with that trick? But that aside, if I were ever to do one, this is one I might consider, because it's not the standard, hey, you name a number, hey, you name a card, hey, we'll deal down, and it's there. It's not that kind of thing. It's a variation enough from that plot, or from that that effect, or whatever, that presentation, that it looks like almost like a different trick on some levels. And so the structure of it's clever, and it's much more engaging, has a potential to be much more engaging than the traditional any card and any number. So that one is kind of a gray area too, as far as which false shuffles or cuts you might use. but you could definitely figure out a way to do to use your favorite false shuffle or false cut. Last, we got Give Me 5, which is just a simple thing where somebody slaps you 5, and right as you do that, a $5 bill gets produced. I'm sure you can figure out how that's done. It's just a pretty simple, quick little thing. So that's it, guys. The ad copy, totally solid. The methods are all legitimate. They're just hard. On this, particularly the ones, or only the ones I should say, that are hard are the ones where you have to use Karl Hein's particular false cuts or shuffles, because those are not easy to learn. But a hard method is not any reason for me to give it a bad rating. An impossible method or a stupid method that doesn't really work, sure, that affects the rating. But this, no, it's solid. So ad copy, method, product quality, it's well produced, well shot, well taught. And the whole thing is just all around, it's just a good solid package. For $35, you get 6 effects that have real potential, and they're right out of his working repertoire. And so that's always a good sign. But again, it's up to you if you like those kinds of effects that I described. If you do, be very happy with this. And of the 3 ones I've reviewed, Catch Up, Volume 1 and Catch Up, period, Volume 1 and Volume 2 of the Heinous collection, if you're only going to get one of those 3, I would recommend it be this one. Now, I may change that tomorrow after I review Volume 3, I don't know. But for now, it's this one for sure. 5 stars, don't say that's a gem. Time to like the video, subscribe to the channel, share it out to all your peeps, and listen to the random iTunes song of the moment, which is... oh, this is a great song. It's Metallica, too, which is already automatically a great song, right? This is one of their slower pieces, though. It's not something you expect from Metallica. It's called Mama Said. I don't know how many of you actually click on the links that I put in the description for the random iTunes songs of the moment. But if you don't normally click, make sure today you click. This is a great song. And the video's kind of weird and goofy, which is a little bit of a bummer because I don't like the goofiness of it on such a cool sounding song. But it's a great song. Mama Said. That's Metallica. Last but not least, the contest is over tomorrow, March 18th, 2015. And I got to be honest with you guys, I'm glad it's over. I mean, I don't mean that in a bad way, but holy crap, it has kept me busy, which is great. I really, 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 really appreciate all the effort you guys have done, all the comments, all the posts, all the sharing, all the likes, all the tweets, all the emails, all the videos. I mean, on and on and on. You guys have been amazing. So on one hand, I'm sad to see it end. On the other hand, I'm excited because I'll have a little bit more time in my day once it's over. I will not be announcing the winners immediately because it's going to take me some time to tally everything up and then put all the entries into the drawing and all that stuff. So that's going to take me some time. But by the weekend, I will have done it. Probably Saturday at the latest, I will have posted the results. And also, one quick reminder, tomorrow, March 18th, the day that the contest ends, is also the last Facebook contest. And it's the ones that I've been posting where I just post a random question and you've got to reply to it. It starts at noon Pacific time, which I believe is 7 p.m. London time. And it ends at 3 p.m. Pacific time, which is 10 p.m. London time. So I did it at that time because it's a reasonable time of day where pretty much everybody not in the world, but at least in Europe and in America, which is the 2 big places where my viewers are. And so pretty much that whole group. And I never have figured this out if the UK is technically part of Europe. I mean, it physically is there, but on the European continent, barely. But so I don't know. So if I'm saying Europe and you're technically not considered Europe when you're in the UK, sorry about that. Anywho, that's it, guys. I'm done rambling. Tomorrow, day 77, is the final video of Karl Hein Week, which is Volume 3 of the Heinous Collection. Tune in for that. Thanks for watching. We'll see you then. Peace out.